Siblings with demon counterparts. The miracles of Demon Slayer don't stop at fighting demons. One of Demon Slayer's many miracles is the protagonist's Tanjiro Kamado's and his sister Nezuko's sibling bond. In the previous video, we looked at 4 pillars and their sibling relationships and found out that they all had incredibly strong bonds, with all the siblings mentioned not wanting their counterpart to die. Today, we'll be looking at what the sibling relationships outside the pillars are like. There are many siblings present in the series, but this time we'll be focusing on siblings with a demon counterpart. The Kamado, Tsugukuni, Thunder-breathing, and upper-rank 6 siblings had one or both siblings turn into demons, so they fit today's criteria. When their counterpart turned into a demon, what did they choose to do, and how did they treat their siblings afterwards? We'll be analyzing each sibling relationship, so stay tuned till the end. We'll be explaining them in order of appearance in the series. The Kamado Siblings. When we say the Kamado Siblings, we are specifically talking about the demonized sister Nezuko and the brother Tanjiro that wants to turn his sister back into a human. Because their father had already passed away, Tanjiro supported his family as the oldest son. Because of this environment, Tanjiro grew up to be kind and extremely responsible. Whenever he wanted to encourage himself, he would often say, "Because I'm the oldest." Nezuko was the oldest daughter and lived a happy life supporting Tanjiro. Unfortunately, while Tanjiro was away from home, Muzan Kibutsuji attacked the Kamado family and killed all but Nezuko, turning her into a demon instead. Whenever someone turns into a demon, instinct screams at them to devour people. However, Nezuko simply cried and stopped before eating Tanjiro. On the contrary, she tried to protect Tanjiro from the Demon Slayer core water pillar, Gyu Tomioka. Gyu quickly figured out something was off and sent Tanjiro to his cultivator, Sakonji Urokodaki. After his training, he cleared the final selection and became a member of the Demon Slayer core. The two tried to keep Nezuko's situation a secret. However, the leader of the Demon Slayer core knew about Nezuko from the beginning, and after the Naragumo Mountain incident, Nezuko became a strong member of the core as well. This was the result of Nezuko proving at the pillar meeting that she wouldn't hurt humans, even when Wind Pillar Sanemi Shinazugawa cut his arm next to her. Her efforts to protect others, Tanjiro in particular, were shown from the very first scene all the way to the end. Being the only 2 remaining members of their family, they began traveling together. Tamayo, who was a demon trying to defeat Muzan, suggested that Nezuko stay with her, but Nezuko just held Tanjiro's hand, swearing to never leave each other's side. The two are inseparable, and it has gotten to the point where some of the fans think they might be something more than just siblings. Let's make it clear, it's not like that at all. It's true that Tanjiro became overprotective of Nezuko after she turned into a demon. This is most likely from losing the rest of their siblings and feeling the strong need to protect, at the very least, Nezuko. On top of that, Nezuko needed to avoid the sunlight at all costs, but she became more absent-minded and began acting more childlike, which might have caused Tanjiro to feel even more responsible for her safety. Nezuko's childlike behavior might be stemming from her desire to depend on her brother more. Nezuko as a human always had younger siblings, so she couldn't think about being treated specially. She always prioritized her younger siblings, showing how much she cared about them. Tanjiro's overprotective behavior towards Nezuko vanished after she turned back into a human. After the Demon Slayer Corps disbanded and they returned home, they fulfilled their roles as members of the household. Inosuke and Zenitsu were also there, but because they were so dependent on Tanjiro and Nezuko, the siblings might have felt like the older brother and sister again. Even though the sister had a period of being a demon, neither of them abandoned the other, and their relationship defined family love. The Thunder-breathing Brothers. The Thunder-breathing Brothers refer to Kaigaku and Zenitsu, but they aren't related by blood. They are both apprentices of former Thunder Pillar Jigoro Kawajima, hence their nickname, Thunder-breathing Brothers. Some of you might think they shouldn't count as siblings in today's list, but they are definitely worth talking about, so that's what we'll do. Kaigaku is the senior apprentice, and from how he called Jigoro-sensei, we can assume he took things very seriously. Zenitsu, on the other hand, was the junior apprentice, and though it wasn't like he was a goof, it seems he was a bit spoiled from how he called Jigoro Gramps. Zenitsu cleared the final selection with Tanjiro, but he is usually a cowardly crybaby. Kaigaku had gotten mad at Zenitsu's crybaby personality and threw a peach at him. The reason why Kaigaku threw a peach was simply because he hated Zenitsu. He was probably jealous that Jigoro treated both the serious Kaigaku and the crybaby Zenitsu equally. Zenitsu was also not fond of Kaigaku, but he still held some respect for him for his hard work. Zenitsu always wanted to fight with Kaigaku side by side one day. However, that dream never came true. Instead of fighting side by side, they ended up face to face. Before the Infinity Castle battle, Kaigaku realized he couldn't beat Kokushibo and begged to be turned into a demon, then was given a place as the upper rank 6. To take that responsibility, Jigoro ended his own life, to avenge Jigoro and to stop Kaigaku's rampage. Zenitsu hunted down Kaigaku in the Infinity Castle. When Kaigaku was informed of Jigoro's end, he didn't cry. On the contrary, he laughed. Kaigaku had hated Jigoro for treating the worthless Zenitsu equal to him. Kaigaku had a strong desire for recognition, so those who graded him correctly were deemed good, and those who graded him poorly were deemed bad. He was the opposite of Zenitsu, who had a very low self-esteem. This wasn't the only thing that made them opposites. Their names are also opposites. Zenitsu's Zen means good, or to get along. Positive meanings. Zenitsu was always a wimp, but he, as a person, had many points to praise. No matter how badly the odds are stacked against him, no matter how beaten up he is, he will always successfully protect whatever he swore he would protect. He was able to have friends like Tanjiro, and he continued to try to get along with Kaigaku by sending letters with no replies. On the contrary, Kaigaku's Kai means crafty, negative meanings. It was revealed that before joining the Demon Slayer Corps, Stone Pillar Gyomei Himejima took care of orphans at a temple, and among them was Kaigaku. As a child, Kaigaku had encountered a demon and begged for his life, saying he'll sacrifice the other children. This deal led to most of the children at the temple being killed. Though it's true that surviving is important, Kaigaku's way of making deals with demons and becoming one himself is indeed very crafty. The types of thunder breathing forms that they can each use are also opposites, as Zenitsu can only use the first form and Kaigaku can all but that one. They're not related by blood, but how opposite they are proves their fate together as brothers. At the Infinity Castle, Kaigaku fought with his blood technique that shredded skin, dealing a lot of damage to Zenitsu. Zenitsu defeated Kaigaku with his original thunder-breathing 7th form, Honoi Kazuchi no Kami. To Kaigaku, who prioritized himself over everything, he didn't care about anyone else, much less about Zenitsu. The Upper Rank 6 Siblings. The Upper Rank 6 Siblings referred to older brother Gyutaro and younger sister Daki, and the battle against them was a rough one due to the win condition being that both of them had to be defeated at the same time. While Daki acted as Yoshiwara's Oiran, Warabihime, and picked out her prey, Gyutaro hid in her shadows to watch over her. The Upper 6 Siblings, Gyutaro and Daki, were relentless, but their days as humans weren't easy. Born in the harshest part of the entertainment district over 100 years ago, Gyutaro received harsh treatment from society due to his disturbing looks and behavior, nearly dying on numerous occasions. This all changed after his sister was born. As a human, Daki was given the name Ume, and her beauty was so outstanding that she was able to make anyone shrink back. Gyutaro's inferiority complex lessened the more he stayed with Ume, and he even started dreaming for a better life. Unfortunately, Ume caused the samurai to go blind after he insulted Gyutaro, and as her punishment, she was tied up and burned. While clinging to a burnt Ume, the upper rank 6 at that time, Doma, appeared in front of Gyutaro. Being invited by Doma, Gyutaro chose to become a demon, and by turning the dying Ume into a demon as well, he saved her life. When fighting Tanjiro, he suggested Tanjiro turn into a demon for her sister too, indicating that Gyutaro had turned into a demon for her sister's sake. Both of them ate many people and pillars and climbed the ranks to become the upper rank 6. But in the end, both their heads were cut off at the same time. As they dissolved, Gyutaro thought about Ume having a different life if he didn't raise her, and only regretted turning her into a demon. After death, Gyutaro tried to push Ume away and go to hell by himself, but she insisted that she go with him. "You are the only one. Don't leave me behind. I will be your sister again." There was no way he could fight back after hearing those words from his sister. They were never able to admit to these feelings as immortal demons, but if they had said so sooner, they would have realized that they loved each other dearly. Gyutaro gave in and he carried Ume towards hell. It was unfortunate that they turned into demons, but their sibling love was still strong. The Tsugukuni Brothers. The Tsugukuni brothers are twins, the older twin being Michikatsu and the younger twin being Yoriichi. Michikatsu became a demon and claimed the spot as the upper rank one, being a hard match for multiple pillars during the Infinity Castle battle. On the other hand, Yoriichi became a swordsman so strong that even the first demon Muzan Kibutsuji called him a monster. He was also a user of the first breathing style, sun breathing. It's not an exaggeration to say that the strongest siblings in the series were the Tsugukuni brothers. The twins were born during the Edo period. At that time, twins were thought to bring bad luck, and because Yoriichi was born with a mark on his forehead, he was almost killed shortly after birth. Under the conditions that he be sent to a temple at the age of 10, he was allowed to live, though his living conditions were nowhere near nice. Michikatsu took care of Yoriichi, being a good brother by bringing him toys and a handmade flute. Michikatsu told Yoriichi to blow the flute whenever he needed help, and that Michikatsu would fly over immediately. The flute in particular had a very special meaning to it. Everything changed shortly after the twins turned 7. While Michikatsu was training, the guide decided to spar Yoriichi on a whim, but Yoriichi beat the guide in an instant. Of course, Michikatsu was incapable of doing the same thing. When Michikatsu asked how he did that, Yoriichi explained how the body was see-through, revealing the secret to his incredible power. Michikatsu was shocked, and when he realized that if Yoriichi's strength was found out by his father, he would be the one to get sent to the temple, and he started panicking. However, the night their mother passed away, Yoriichi left the home alone, only telling Michikatsu that he'll take good care of the flute. However, Yoriichi never went to the temple, and his whereabouts were unknown. After a while, even Yoriichi saved Michikatsu from demons. The two were reunited. Yoriichi had joined the Demon Slayer Corps and was fighting as a sun-breathing user. Seeing this, Michikatsu joined the Corps as well. However, Yoriichi's strength was overwhelming. No matter how hard he trained, Michikatsu never caught up. It was then that they found out that those with a mark never lived past the age of 25. Michikatsu also had a mark, so when he found out about his time limit, he met Muzan. Muzan seduced Michikatsu by telling him that demons live eternally, and losing to that temptation, he became the demon, Kokushibo. 60 years later, Kokushibo continued getting stronger and eventually reunited with Yoriichi, who had survived even with the mark. They fight, and though Yoriichi was still stronger than Kokushibo despite his age, just as Kokushibo thought he'll lose, Yoriichi's life came to an end. Kokushibo was flooded with relief from not needing to kill Yoriichi, with a sense of confirmation that his choice of becoming a demon was correct, and with a sense of accomplishment that he finally won against the brother he was never able to beat. Kokushibo shredded Yoriichi's dead body. In the process, he found the flute he gave to Yoriichi as a child. Yoriichi kept the flute close to his heart all this time. The same flute reappears from Kokushibo's kimono at the end of his fight during the Infinity Castle battle. This time, it was Kokushibo that held into the flute for 400 years. Kokushibo came to hate Yoriichi out of jealousy, but he couldn't get rid of the flute that represented his brotherly side. Love and hate are two sides of the same coin, it seems. The relationships of the demon siblings. That's all for the demon siblings. These 4 pairs can now be split into 2 categories, don't you think? The Kamado and upper rank 6 siblings, and the Tsugukuni and thunder-breathing siblings. The Kamado and upper rank 6 siblings have strong sibling love, despite being demonized coming into play. On the other hand, the Tsugukuni and thunder-breathing siblings have strong jealousy interfering. Perhaps it is because they are so closely related as siblings. The older brother was constantly bothered by their younger counterpart, the younger brother that had something they didn't. It was probably because they felt the need to stand on top. But the more they thought about it, the stronger their jealousy got. When we discussed pillar siblings last time, the older brother was constantly wishing for their younger brother's happiness. It must have been easy for Muzan to get Michikatsu and Kaigaku on his side, since neither wished for their younger counterpart's happiness. Yushiro was making snide remarks at Kaigaku as he dissolved, saying that those who are greedy won't get anything, and that he couldn't create anything himself. It's hard to disagree. Michikatsu and Kaigaku couldn't get stronger any other way than to become demons. They lose as people above all else to their younger brothers. If someone close to you became a demon, what would you do? Comment down below what you think. Thanks for watching. We have more amazing analysis videos coming up, so subscribe to stay tuned. We'll see you next time.